Return on investment, NBC Sports Group and the NHL's media rights deal. Return on investment, or what is commonly referred to as ROI, is a measure of how much a company earns on the money the company itself has invested. In this case, we will be talking about the return on investment for NBC in the deal they made for the NHL's media rights. NBC Sports Group and the National Hockey League have reached an agreement on a record 10-year television and media rights deal, taking the partnership through the 2020-21 season. NBC Sports Group will pay about $200 million annually for the length of the contract. NBC remains the exclusive network home of the NHL, and Versus, soon to be NBC Sports, stays as the exclusive cable home of the NHL. NBC and Versus will both feature a Game of the Week time slot during the regular season, and between them telecast 100 exclusive regular season games, nearly double the previous season's total. This deal also marks the first ever national distribution of all Stanley Cup playoff games, including, for the first time, exclusive coverage starting with the league's conference semifinals. NBC focusing on the playoffs was an important part of this deal because, as NBC's Dick Ebersol puts it, it is a 2-month season that vibrates, meaning this exclusivity will bring more attention to the most important parts of the playoffs and to the NHL. The new agreement also calls for NBC Sports to have a national NBC broadcast on Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. This game will help bring the NHL to viewers' homes and thoughts a little earlier than in the previous seasons. NBC will continue to broadcast the NHL Winter Classic in January and Hockey Day in America. Versus will telecast its exclusive Game of the Week, plus NHL Premier Games, NHL Face-Off, the NHL All-Star Game, and any future NHL Heritage Classic outdoor games in Canada. This, to me, explains the prestige that NBC Sports Group will get from being such an exclusive carrier of the NHL's regular and postseason games. As part of this deal, NBC also has control over the in-arena dasher boards. It will be the first year they are sold nationally. In previous years, the teams controlled the dasher board sales. The NHL and NBC are also now selling their ads as a combined effort, which executives say is creating an ad sales environment that has made it easier for advertisers to buy across platforms. These two agreements with the NHL are just parts of the profit, benefits, and leverage that NBC will gain from this media rights package. NBC will also start to gain leverage on sports giants like ESPN with their conversion of Versus to NBC Sports, which will now be NBC's 24-hour sports channel. They may have a few years of development before they can truly compete with ESPN, but it's a step in the right direction to success. This deal may also give NBC a little bit of leverage in the NHL's upcoming conditional bargaining agreement situation. It may help them push the NHL and NHLPA to come to an agreement faster as to avoid any kind of shortened season or lockout, which could in turn hurt any of the named companies and their profits along with the fan base. Overall, NBC's return on investment will far surpass the 10-year deal with the NHL. NBC has the potential in this deal to prove that they are one of the major sports networks. It could help them bring in bigger deals in the future with any of their other various sporting leagues. It will also bring in more advertisers to the NBC networks, creating more partnerships along the way.